Happy Thursday, Village. I hope this is going to be coherent because I'm just kind of just overcome this morning. Normally, I'll just post sometimes a thoughtful Thursday, but I thought instead of just posting, which I have a quote to post, but instead of just posting, I'd actually go live because it's been a very interesting morning this morning. Those of you who are following me know my word this year is surrender. Surrender to the flow. Just being in flow, not giving up, being in action, but just allowing the things that are supposed to happen and supposed to come to you to happen. So this morning, I get up and there's this amazing quote on Empowerment Village about kindness and, leave a word, get a word, right? So encourage someone else or seek encouragement, ask for encouragement or ask for kindness today. And so that's kind of how it started with the Empowerment Village post this morning. And then as I have been looking at how I can serve bigger and better, really that head trash we talk about here on the Rutledge Perspective, on the podcast, on the radio show, is that idea that sometimes we just get in our head and get in our own way. And you all by now know me well enough to know we're just going to be real here and authentic, and what you see is what you get. It's not going to be always polished and perfect. It is going to be raw and real. And so as I've been morphing and moving, one of the things that I am really looking to do is how can I serve better? How can I serve bigger? How can I have a better reach? And how can I get out of my own way to be sure that I am standing in the fact that I know that I know that I know that I am where I'm supposed to be to deliver the best for you and to serve bigger, because to whom much is given, much is expected. And so on Tuesday in the radio show, my producer extraordinaire, Jerry P. Beasley, said, when you are ready to learn, God brings the teacher to you. The teacher shows up, right? When you're ready, the teacher shows up. And as I was moving today, because I got ready to get up and do my daily harvest latte, and something was wrong with my almond milk, so I had to run out. And I was thinking, so now my day is all off. I got so much to do. I thought, Laurel, just surrender to the flow. You need to go get this almond milk so you can stay on plan. And on my way, I was just listening to my Sirius radio, and I think it was the Today Show was on, and they were talking about this one artist who was about to give up, had written a manifestation or an intention that year, and the intention itself said, go find another career. And this is an artist who's, like many artists, has really been impacted negatively with the pandemic. And that day that he wrote that, he got a call from his manager that said, hey, guess what? You're going to be on Jimmy Fallon and with The Roots and all of this kind of thing. And so things have taken off. And it made me sit and think, wow, I needed to hear that, because it is important that when we're in flow, that if we stop and listen, we will hear what we need to hear. So first, hearing, this whole idea of kindness, because you got to be kind to yourself as well. Second, hearing, we may set an intention, but if we are not in flow and we're not being still and paying attention, that intention isn't necessarily what is intended for us. And so then I got home and got my latte and got started, doing some things, and went back and said, you know what, did I really intentionally write my intentions this year? Because I had this revelation of surrender, but did I really write my intentions down for this year? Like, I know them, but did I write them down so that I can hold myself accountable? So I went back and pulled my journal where I wrote down it before, and lo and behold, one of the things that I've talked about before, The Big Leap with Gay Hendricks, he's got a secondary piece that goes along with The Big Leap called The Joy of Genius, which actually has some amazing exercises in it. I highly recommend. And I started reading back through my journal, looking for where I'd written my intentions. And I started reading these things like, I commit to being mindful. I commit to not letting the past predict my future. I commit to all of these things. And I thought, okay, I know God's got to burn a bush for me. I think I see the smoke signals. And it is that whole idea today on Thoughtful Thursday of continuing to just surrender to the flow. Be mindful, be patient, be still, and listen for where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing and where you're supposed to go. Not for what you want to hear, but for what the universe is really telling you is for you. And then sit in that. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be direct. It's not always going to be clear. But if you just surrender to what the process is and you surrender to what's supposed to be and you stay in action, again, surrender doesn't mean giving up and throwing up your hands and saying, oh, whatever, I don't know, just whatever happens, happens. It is still being intentional, being mindful, and being forward thinking and processing what you're supposed to be doing. But it's also about making sure that you give room for things to come to you that are supposed to be coming to you. And that for me on this Thoughtful Thursday was the thing I want to share with you. Surrender to that flow. Just be in the moment, be in the flow. Just think about what you're supposed to be doing. Good morning, Merle. Merle, good to see you. Be in that flow. Be able and ready and willing to just surrender to what's supposed to come to you and what's supposed to be there for you and what you're ready for. And I have to tell you, I'm ready. I am ready for whatever this year is supposed to bring. I'm believing that 2021 is a year that's going to be like no other. Clearly, it's going to be like no other because we've not been 2021 before, but it is going to be a year like no other in terms of what we're able to accomplish, the connections we're able to make, the lives we're able to touch, the things we're able to do and build and grow and learn that we weren't able to do before because we were all stuck in this madness in such a crazy year as 2020. And no, the pandemic is not over. And yes, we still have to be careful and we need to mask up or double mask now and all of these kind of things. And we can be kind. We can be thoughtful. We can be mindful. We can be focused. We can give ourselves grace to feel the pain and the discouragement and the uncertainty and all that craziness that makes us worry and sit in those feelings and understand them and honor them and then move forward knowing that even if it's a baby step, forward is forward. Go forth and doing it in fear, stepping out on faith over fear, and making sure that if you know that you know that you know that you give yourself the opportunity to really sit in that and move forward. So today, Thoughtful Thursday, be sure you are giving yourself permission to surrender to the flow, giving yourself permission to have grace around the doubts and the uncertainty and the madness, and continuing to move forward. Go back and read those manifestations. Go back and hold yourself accountable for setting intentions. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do next week? What do you plan for the year? And then as you are moving through and figuring out what you want to do, and how you want to do it. If you've done it and said it and you're in flow, then as you need to move or change or morph or figure it out, you always have your eyes on the end goal. You know your strategy. And so those movements just become a little tweak as opposed to a derailment. I am so glad to be able to be in a space where I can serve and so glad to be in a space where I can connect with all of you. And I thank you for taking your time to listen and taking your time to follow the radio show and listen to the podcast and listen to the quotes and read the quotes and quote and comment on them. I appreciate it so much. It is my honor, and I am truly humbled by all of you that do take the time out, because there's so much out there right now and there's so many things and so many ways we can spend our time. So I appreciate your doing that with me. Definitely follow the Empowerment Village. It's really about positive and uplifting. And stay tuned, because I've got some stuff coming for you. You'll be seeing some things coming in February and March and the rest of the year. So I'm looking forward to being with you. Merle, thanks for watching live. Have a fantastic Thursday. And I will catch you guys next time. Take care. Bye.